Eurythmics' greatest hits. The 1980s were a boom time for digital synthesizer manufacturers, and every innovation would be lapped up by record producers. There was a lot of snobbery about factory presets, so nerdy types would type in new sounds playing with the algorithms and blinding us with science. Some great acts made their worst records, caught up in the excitement of the new. The Rolling Stones and Dylan were particularly tarnished. One of the few acts that I thought used the technology tastefully were Eurythmics. Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart had been in a power pop band called The Tourists, who had a hit with a cover of I Only Want to Be With You, and were so of the time with their skinny ties and blondie look that it was a shock that they split up, and Dave and Annie put together a synth duo. As someone who was always trying to make music on a budget, I was interested in their home studio recording method. Using a timecode on their tape machine, they were able to use a small number of live tracks and mix those together with sequence synthesizers going straight into the mix, giving a high quality sound on basic equipment. And that was how I worked, eventually. The first track on this album is Love Is a Stranger. I can remember how this stood out amongst all the other synth pop at the time. Other acts seemed to be going for bright and bouncy and somehow falling short, or else they were droning like Tangerine Dream with Kraftwerk percussion. But it was the second track on this album that really made the Eurythmics. Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. A big bluesy distorted synth riff and a repetitive soulful vocal made it an instant classic. They wrote many great songs, and as time progressed it became less synth pop and more guitar rock. I remember seeing them on TV doing the very rocky anthemic When Tomorrow Comes, with a big band that included backing singers, and Clem Burke, the drummer from Blondie, whacking a massive beat and twirling his sticks. Like all 80s acts, the snare drum tends to get to the point of being a bit too loud, but they avoid a lot of the digital excess pitfalls, though Sex Crime does have the max headroom stutter. Someone I know recently described them inaccurately as the Scottish Pet Shop Boys, but having re-listened to their greatest hits and been reminded of Here Comes the Rain Again, Thorn in My Side, There Must Be an Angel, and Right by Your Side, I would have little hesitation in calling them the British ABBA. And ABBA never did a song with Aretha Franklin. Eurythmics' greatest hits.